Well, he's not decided once for all he's leaving, but the conversation was in the air, wasn't it, Vass? And we've been having it on and off, and you'd sense it on the air. And we've always worn our heart on our sleeves, haven't we, on this show?
It didn't feel... I mean, that's what I said to you on Friday. I love you too much to be having thoughts anything like this or feelings anything like this without at least telling you.
Yeah.
Because I love you and I love this show.
Pam says, thank you, Vassos, we'll miss you. If he leaves, we don't know if it's a terminal condition at the moment. I'm at a crossroads too, and will be brave and leave my job as I'm missing something and I need to go to find it. Life is too short. Yes, it is. Life is too... I do not want Vassos Alexander to leave the show, but life is too short. And it's not ours, it's his. Steve in Staffordshire, I will really miss hearing Vassos each morning, but wish him absolutely the best if he chooses a different path. Somebody finally hearing the if. This is still what's that great phrase? If pots and pans were ifs and maybe, I wouldn't have enough to fill my kitchen cupboard. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, Ryan's coming. Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, but geez, what was the second last one lady's name there at the crossroads? Pam. We'll come back to that in a second, but just for listeners who aren't in the studio with us, as soon as I came out of the lift to come into the studio, because I was listening in my kitchen to Vassos' story earlier on, and I found it very emotional. I have to say, I'm only here 18 months, but I feel close, and there's such a lovely vibe here. It's not fake, and I was coming through the studio, and even in the class behind the glass, it's emotionally charged, that room.
Of course.
And I came in here at another level because it's so reflective. Because you really do. It's a sincere love here, and what I was saying was, when I left, I did a chat show for pretty much 20 years, 14 years on the Late and 5 and another one, and I had another year to run on my contract. And I just decided, just before that year, and towards the end of what became my last season, I just went to my dressing room one day and I said, I don't think you're in love with the job here as much as you should be. It was a really critical moment, because I knew then that if I kept going, and even if it was fulfilling a contract, which is just words and legalese, I would have let myself down, but more importantly, the audience down, the team I worked with, and everyone, because I wasn't in it. And I FaceTimed my daughters and I said, girls, like separately, I said, this is a decision I've just made, almost on the spot. And they said, you look like you've been liberated from prison. And even though I wasn't in prison, I loved the job, loved the people I worked with. This was not something I wanted to run away from. That's why I was echoing with what you were saying, Vassos. It did feel completely correct. And if Pam is sitting at the crossroads, this is what it came back to me a lot as well. People said they were listening in or watching in saying, oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to just pull that gear, change that course in the road and say, enough. I want to kind of be a bit more of a master of my own destiny, strangely.
I honestly don't know, because I don't feel like I'm not in love with this job, because I am.
Precise, I get that.
But I am feeling a pull towards, and here's the big thing.
Yeah.
I haven't got a clue. I've got no qualifications. I was running with a doctor and a lawyer last night at Barnes Runners, and I was thinking,
jobs for life.
Yeah. But even if they decide to do something, they've always got, well, I'll just go back to general practice, or I'll just go back to the bar. But I've got no qualifications.
You could go back to the bar.
I'll bring you to the bar.
I'll bring you to
I might have to come with you, to be honest, if this carries on.
I know a good spot.
It's my sober birthday on June 3rd. I don't think I'm going to make it. Anyway, it's not about me. Carry on.
Go on. So
I just don't know.
But if you're putting in your job, if you're telling people what you do for a living, you say broadcaster, and there's always going to be a radio and a microphone with your name on it. Should you require? Would you agree? Like
well, there'll always be that here. I mean, literally, in a year's time, you go, oh, this wasn't for me. What was I thinking? Okay, as you were.
Thank you.
But
I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's radio. I don't know whether it's sport. I don't know whether it's broadcast. I don't know. But I do feel a little bit, like I said to Chris this morning, on the vault in gymnastics at the Olympics, they get onto the springboard, and then the springboard comes down, and then they explode up onto the vault and do all their things. I feel like I'm on that springboard and it's down.
Yeah. Yeah, but you said something lovely earlier on off air, which was about the excitement of this adventure with your children. That if you'd stayed on doing what you're doing, you mightn't have had. You're giving yourself a really lovely credit to your bank account of the soul.
Yes, at the actual expense of my actual bank account.
Which is more.
You're selling your house for loads of profit. You'll be fine. And you're downsizing. I know you got it all figured out. It's interesting though, isn't it? Because it's like a gap year almost. It's like a midlife gap year. Maybe. You're looking at something like that. And why the heck not? Because Matthew's just turned 19. Emily's about to be 22. Isn't?
No, she's 21. So I've got 2 adult children, but they don't have responsibilities yet. And while they might want to go and do something epic with their dad, you know, like climb Kilimanjaro, trek to Machu Picchu. Yeah, maybe this is the time, because in 5 years' time they might be married with kids, or certainly with jobs, and think,
it's a great. My girls are 26 and 20. It is so much fun hanging out with them. It is. They are at that age where they've stopped tolerating you. They now want to hang out a little bit more with you, and vice versa.
And you coming here has been a bit like that, hasn't it?
Look,
because they can come and see you all the time.
Chris, my flatmate, I haven't told you this, my flatmate is my daughter's fella.
I didn't know you had a flatmate.
I have now. Because Ella's coming over.
Is he paying lodgings?
He's in meals.
All right.
He's feeding me.
He better blooming well have be.
No, we're like with this stupid couple now. Where he goes, did you watch The Last of Us yet? I was like, I'll save it for you.
That's good.
No, and so Ella's on the way over, and then my other daughter's driving. So, and as you say, come and go. We're going on a big holiday together in a couple of weeks' time. I'm saying this by way of saying to you, the future is whatever uncertainty that's there, it is matched and exceeded by the excitement you're going to have with your family.
Yeah, we're talking at you a lot here, Vassos, only because we love you. But another thing is, you know, if it does feel like a 10 here still, thank God, you know, that is the springboard. That's how you want your springboard to be loaded. And amazing phrase. It's better to leave the party 10 years too early than stay 10 minutes too late. And take that super juice with you. I still don't want you to go. You know I don't want you to go. And the other thing I heard this week, which might be useful, might not be useful, is reversing the golden rule. So the golden rule is the one law that all religions seem to share. And in the Bible, it's do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. And every single religion in the world, every known religion in the world has its own version of that rule. And it's often cited as the reason why all the religions may have started in the same source for all the right reasons as opposed to the wrong reasons, because this rule is in there. But nowadays, because of the way the world is, you might want to reverse that. You know, do unto yourself as you would have done unto others. Because now a lot of people are a lot nicer to other people than they are to themselves. And maybe it's time for that rule to be reversed. And there's a bit of that going on as well.
Yeah, and what a lovely thought, actually, just generally in the middle of Mental Health Awareness Week. Everybody just be kinder to yourselves.
Yeah. As you would to others.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was a chat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good though. It was good. It feels good. It feels cathartic. I think, especially for you guys.
It's great, man. It's great.
I still haven't talked about Sunderland and Coventry, though.
No. Well, you know,
do you know what that is? Because you're losing your touch. It probably is time you left.
And now.
No. All right, we'll have Vassos' sports bulletin coming up.